Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy Fatty Ghost, and EA actually dropped like a lot of ratings. I believe it's a top 1,000, but pretty much they've released like most of the gold cards for the top leagues. So I thought I'd go through them. Today I'm gonna be looking at the Premier League players. I thought I'd go through it just to let you guys know who I think would be the meta, how the cards are looking, which positions maybe they, certain leagues would be lacking, things like that. And yeah, just a general discussion. If you guys like the content, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Let's get to it. So to start off with, guys, we're gonna look at goalkeepers. Now a lot of the usual suspects in the Prem. Of course, at the top you got the Ellison, Ederson, Lloris. De Gea actually got a downgrade, so I think De Gea would be that sort of mid-tier one. Other than that, when we look at the cheaper goalies, I believe from what I have seen, Fabianski seems like the sort of decent goalie. He doesn't really have any big flaw. Probably the flaw would be his kicking, but the reason I don't count it is because I don't think a lot of people look for kicking in their goalies. But yeah, guys, other than that, the other guys, when you look at Pickford, Kepa, guys like that, they do have certain flaws, like they have low handling or something like that. So I'd say for that starter squad, or like that sort of decent-ish squad, I would suggest probably go with Fabianski. And then if you got a bit more cash, I think the likes of Leno and Patricio not as much. I'd say Leno is probably that guy who bridges the gap between the cheaper goalies and the more expensive ones. So once you got a bit of money to spend, I'd probably say Leno. And hey, De Gea might be cheaper this year because of his rating isn't that high. And then yeah, guys, you got the usual suspects. Lloris is gonna he's gonna be pretty popular this year. Of course, he's French also. And then you have Ellison and Ederson, who we've been seeing for, well, Ellison just last year, Ederson has been a couple of years. So now let's move on to the right backs. And yeah, okay, so there's quite a few options, but a lot of the options are sort of on the higher end. We look at Trent, for example. Now for me, Trent just isn't gonna be that meta. Of course, he has a Liverpool link, so a lot of guys who maybe want to use Salah but don't want a Prem team, they'd probably go for him. But other than that, guys, I just an 87 rated, but just 80 pace and 80 defending. What he's good at is passing, and I don't think a lot of people look for that in their fullbacks. So yeah, I don't think he's gonna be incredibly meta. Kyle Walker, guys, you know the deal. He's been meta for a couple of years now. And yeah, like we discussed in my previous video, with heading possibly being somewhat meta this year, a guy like Kyle Walker with his physicality and stuff could probably be like the top right back to go for in the Prem. Pereira, nice upgrade and very technically sound, good dribble, good passing and stuff. I actually really liked his card last year, if you guys saw my review, and this time also it's looking pretty nice. Other than that, Cancelo and Wan-Bissaka. Cancelo, of course, having a lot of those attacking attributes. Wan-Bissaka is more of that sort of defensive type of fallback, so depending on your needs, probably I would actually, both of them are pretty easy to link, to be honest. But yeah, as far as the sort of more affordable ones off the rip, I'd say the only two guys that I have seen that I think would be worth using would be like Bellerin and Reece James. Bellerin, of course, because he has the pace. He's also got like decent enough passing and dribbling, and Reece James just has a decent overall card. I think with Yedlin and like Fredericks, they obviously have the pace, but other than that, guys, they don't have too much. So I'd say probably at the beginning of the game you'd see Bellerin and Reece James quite often. Maybe, hey, if you can pick those cards up early, before the game comes on the companion app, maybe you can make some money. But yeah, I think the likes of Wan-Bissaka and stuff would be pretty expensive early on. But yeah, decent enough options to choose from as compared to the left back situation. Now we move on to the center backs, and I think this is probably one of the weaker points. I'd say center back and left back would be one of the weaker points for the Prem. As you guys can see, Virgil van Dijk, who I'd say is probably the best center back last season, in FIFA 20. And yeah, as you guys see, it's him, and then there's a large drop. Laporte pretty unusable, Fernandinho unusable, guys like that. And then from 90 rated Van Dijk, we get to 83 Joe Gomez. And guys, this guy, in my opinion, is gonna be the guy. He's gonna be the meta guy. He had the road to the finals card last year, which was insane. But yeah, guys, 82 pace, 83 defending, 80 physical, guys. This is gonna be the meta guy. If you guys can pick him up early, please do so, because when the game comes out, he's gonna be pretty expensive. Even though it's an 83, I think about the first month he's gonna be pretty expensive, and then once people are like packing him left and right, he's gonna go down. Other than that, guys, as far as like the cheaper options, in my opinion, when you're looking at the sort of starter-ish or starter medium-ish level squads, you probably only have Rudiger and Sanchez there. Maybe you could throw in Lindelof, but I would say probably Rudiger and Sanchez are the two center backs to go for. Decent pace and decent defending. Other than that, it's a pretty significant drop, guys. So not too many options. I'd say for like the really like beginner level ones where you don't want to spend too much, you could use the likes of Eric Bailly, Nathan Ake. I think actually Nathan Ake's got a decent enough card that maybe you could even use in your decent-ish squad. But I'd say probably Bailly and Ake would be the options for this. I'm actually surprised that Sionchu only has 69 pace. He's pretty quick in real life. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the center backs. I mean, Smalling also has a decent card. But yeah, it's mainly these three, the Davinson Sanchez, Rudiger, Lindelof. Maybe you could use Ake. It actually depends how he plays in game. He does like the physicality a bit, but maybe if you guys want that one center back to be a bit better on the ball. And then yeah, Eric Bailly for the the starter squads. Now let's move on to the left backs. Hold up. This thing is tripping. And by the way, guys, a lot of the ratings are out now, but I saw like the weak foot and skills and stuff, and they seem a bit off, so I don't think those are accurate, because I've seen some wingers with like Nicolas Pepe as like a 2-star, and I don't think that's gonna be true. So I wouldn't like rely on those ratings too much. But as far as their stats like the pace and stuff, that's probably gonna be accurate. Now when you look at the left back situation, obviously Robertson last year also decent card. This year also gonna be pretty meta. Of course gets that link with the Liverpool guys, and especially if you wanna run someone like Mane in like a 4-5-1, they'd get the double link. Decent card overall, not the crazy pace, but decent overall. I remember even last year's card, I guess maybe it's the lack of skills or something, and maybe his dribbling isn't like top tier. He doesn't feel like great on the ball, but again decently quick, good passing and stuff, guys. So if the heading is gonna be a factor this year, then he might be the one. Lucas Digne, guys, I remember I had his I believe it was one of his inform cards, and it was an insane card last year. As far as this card too, you can see he's quite technically sound. The only thing he lacks is the pace. So if he gets an inform, then definitely, guys, he would be a pretty viable option. Sergio Reguilon just moved to Spurs with Gareth Bale, so this is actually looking like a pretty nice card, guys. I think this probably be like one of the more meta cards this year. He's also Spanish, so if maybe someone wants to link him in a different sort of league and stuff. But yeah, guys, good pace, offensively, like good stuff, good, decent enough passing and dribble, decent defending stats too, so he could be meta for sure. Other than that, guys, a bunch of guys that don't have enough pace. Mendy's got a decent card too, as you can see, those 77s across the board, 80 pace. He's also sort of like a physical guy, so and Man City, so could be pretty useful. Emerson also coming in with a decent-ish card, not too bad. And then yeah, guys, is Kieran Tierney, who I think Tierney would probably, I'd say Tierney, possibly also Patrick Van Aanholt for those starter-ish squads. I think Tierney could also play like in the sort of starter medium-ish squads because of his good pace. He's probably like the one of the faster fullbacks here, at least left backs. And then yeah, once you guys got some money, it's probably gonna be Reguilon. Then let's move on to the center mids. And yeah guys, I think this year definitely the midfielders are much better. I think last year there was quite a lack of options in the Prem, but this year already off the rip, we don't have to wait for informs and stuff. We have quite a lot of options. So we start off KDB, guys. You know how he is. He's insane. 5-star weak foot and stuff, 4-star skills. And yeah guys, he's got that 64 defending, so slap something like a shadow, and he can be quite versatile. I've seen people use him in like a 4-2-3-1 as a CDM. Personally, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily use him, although you could use him. You slap a shadow on him and possibly pair him up with like an out and out CDM, and you have a guy who has got the passing range and a guy who can sort of join the attack. But I think in the 4-1-2-1-2s, things like that, I don't usually see him played at cam too much, just because people prefer to have a pacey player up top. So yeah, definitely gonna be usable, although gonna be very expensive, 91 rating. So yeah guys, probably I wouldn't recommend him towards the start of the game. Maybe once his prices come down, you could give him a shot. N'Golo Kante, guys, this guy's in the Ultimate Team Hall of Fame. Every year he's got a sick card, and it's not different this time either. 77 pace, 86 defending, 82 physical. You guys know the drill, and the 81 dribble. So yeah guys, he's gonna be pretty meta this year, although he does have some cheaper competition, let's say. So yeah, but all in all, he's gonna be pretty meta for quite a while, for a long time into the game. Fabinho got a decently well-rounded card this time. He's got better passing and shooting this time, and the physicality and defending. Last year his card wasn't like super meta, although I think this year it might be different, although like he likes the pace. I think that physicality, defending, things like that, and also he helps with links quite a bit, being Brazilian and playing for Liverpool. So I could see him possibly being used more often. Of course, depending on the meta. If that heading meta is there and people maybe tend to use more physical guys, then possibly you could see him. But his card does look better than last year's card, so could be useful. Again, 87 rated, so I wouldn't recommend getting him off the rip unless you've got money to blow, because his price will come down unless he's like incredible in game, obviously. Then we move on to Bruno Fernandes, great signing for United. And yeah guys, he's also one of those guys, he's a cam but 68 defending, so you slap a shadow on him, and he can be versatile. You can use him as a CDM in like a 4-2-3-1. You can use him as like a 4-1-2-1 in a 4-1-2-1-2 as like one of the center mids. And I think also you could use him as a cam. He's also got a 4-star, really good passing, shooting and stuff. Decent enough pace. I think you slap something like a hunter or shadow, whatever you need him for, he'd be like decently usable. 87 rated also, so I think if the price is right, definitely he could be a pretty usable card. Not super meta, but again, also if this year passing is, they're more strict on it, they require high passing rating and stuff, then again it could be different. He could be a very meta player. We look at Hendo, again nice upgrade, but not gonna cut it with that 65 pace. Paul Pogba, nice card, pretty similar to last year's card. And I think again although his defense attributes lack a bit, because he has that physicality, he can make up for it. I used him as a CDM, I remember, and I saw a lot of people using him as a CDM. So I think again he's gonna be I think somewhat meta, especially also because he gets the links with Conte and stuff, so he is gonna be quite a heavily used card. Rodri, I think for those the first month or so, you could see him quite a bit and use him also. He's a pretty tall guy, good physicality, things like that, but of course lacks the pace. Genie, guys, this is the meta card this year. Of course earlier there was actually strong links to him moving to Barca, I don't know what's happened with that, but if he stays in the Prem, or at least like stays till the game comes out, and then maybe afterwards like moves to Barca or whatever, then maybe some people could get those Liverpool cards. But yeah, guys, looking like a really nice card this year. That box to box guy, he's just got a bit of everything, very well rounded. I mean, once he gets like 2 informs, guys, it's gonna be a serious card. And yeah, I think he's gonna be heavily used. 85 rated, so definitely gonna be quite expensive like at the start of the game. Hakim Ziyech, guys, I just don't see him being used that much. He obviously has the weak foot issue, and yeah, guys, his main asset is his passing, which I don't think will be like that they're usable this year. So I think there'll be also cheaper alternatives if you want a player like him. So I don't see him being used too much. Kai Havertz, guys, of course the stats are pretty decent. If you want to use him as a cam, he's got good pace, dribble, things like that. But I think one of the main assets would be that triple link he gets with Timo Werner. Especially when you look at the likes of Gnabry and Sane, things like that. So if you have Werner and Havertz together, there's so much you can do. I think that's why his price will be, he's gonna be pretty expensive off the gate. Maybe afterwards, as far as the card goes, it doesn't look like super duper meta where like 2-3 months into the game you're gonna be using him. But I think definitely for the beginning, I mean, good pace, good shot and stuff. I think a very good option at cam. And I think he's gonna be cheaper than the likes of like Martial and stuff, who you want to play as like a striker, cam, like those sort of positions. I mean, Havertz can also play as a striker. So yeah, guys, I think definitely he's gonna be one of those meta-ish guys. Someone, not even just meta, but a very popular choice for people. Thiago coming to the Prem, had a great performance on the weekend actually. Well, not great, they were like the Chelsea was down to 10 men, but yeah, decent. He had a good performance, but as far as his card goes, decent. The pace is lacking. Of course, the dribble is good, so he's gonna feel quick. I just don't see him being used that much. I think maybe other than the Liverpool fanboys, I don't see him being used that much. Then we move on to Ndidi. Who got a fat upgrade actually. Well, not fat. I think he was like an 81, 82. But yeah, guys, as far as the passing and stuff, not too well rounded, but guys, 87 defending, 84 physical, 71 pace. He can be that sort of unit for you guys in CDM. So I could definitely see him being used quite a bit. Then we move on to Alan, the main man. This guy was a very popular card last year, and he's been in Ultimate Team for a while, but now he's moved to the Prem. And yeah, guys, you guys can see the card: 73 pace, 71 shot, 77 pass. So decent enough, for the going forward stats. And then 83 dribble, 85 defending, 83 physical, and he's got like mad stamina and stuff too. So yeah, guys, I think he's gonna be heavy like meta. It's gonna be very like used quite often. Also, Brazilian Prem. He actually also Richarlison's got a decent card, so you could see that triple link. Brazilian playing for Everton. But yeah, guys, this guy's card looks absolutely insane. And yeah, guys, it gives people some options. The guys who can't afford Kante, now they have this guy who's probably gonna be a bit cheaper, probably a lot cheaper considering the rating. But I do think at the start of the game he's gonna be pretty expensive, even though it's just an 83. Kovacic, decent card, nothing like too crazy to shout about. I think will be like decently usable. I mean, 69 defending, you slap a shadow on him. He's got decent enough passing. Not decent, he's got actually really good passing. So maybe not super meta, but definitely like usable at the start of the game. Dele Alli, guys, I know I'm skipping through guys, but I'm skipping through guys who I don't think really need too much to discuss about. So yeah, we look at Dele Alli, guys. Again, a well-rounded card like his previous cards, and yeah, could be versatile. He's a tall guy and physical and stuff. So I think with the shadow again, you could use him as a CDM, as a center mid, as a cam. Maybe not as a cam too much, I think, because of the lack of pace, but definitely I'd say his probably strongest position would be like center mid. And then if you want to stretch it to CDM, you could. Lo Celso, decent card, but I think lacking defensively. Lucas Torreira, guys. So this guy's one of those cards that I thought, for beginning of the game, those starter teams, he would be the guy. He's got decent pace, like decent defending, things like that. I actually used him last year, and towards the beginning of the game, and his, like that sort of cheap Conte. Although he's heavily linked to Italy, so I don't know if he's gonna be that way. If he is there, guys, definitely I'd say for that starter, I'd say for like maybe the first 2 to 3 weeks, guys, you could use this card. It's looking like a decent card. And then guys, Fred actually has got a pretty nice looking card this year. Really good pace for a midfielder. And then just well-rounded, good passing, good dribble, decent defending and stuff. And then even the shot's not too bad if you have to pop a shot. So I think he's gonna be heavy meta this year. And of course, United and Brazilian. So yeah, guys, I think he's gonna be very popular player. Try to maybe grab him before the game comes out on the cheap. And Ndombele also, I think could be a decent meta-ish card. Not, I'd say for the beginning of the game, but of course not later. I mean, last year his card was used quite a bit, but I think this year, with the pace and things like that, I'd say probably more of like a beginning game sort of guy. Bakayoko, guys, if you guys played, I believe it was maybe FIFA, I want to say 17 or something, or 18, where like he was super meta. He's back at Chelsea, so yeah, guys. But of course his card isn't as beast as it was before. Other than that, yeah, guys, even McTominay's got a decently well-rounded card, decent enough pace, good physicality and stuff. So again, for starter squads, I would suggest a guy like McTominay also. Other than that, last year's meta, Musa Sissoko, guys, although his overall is down to 79, it's still looking like a mean card. So yeah, guys, you're still gonna see him, trust me. And again, yeah, especially for the beginning, he's gonna be pretty meta. Oxlade-Chamberlain too, decent card, I think gonna be usable, but not like super duper meta. Now let's move on to the attacker. So we start off with the right wingers, since there's not too much to discuss, but the left wingers and the Prem are stacked. So yeah, guys, now we on to the right wingers, and of course at the top, the main man, the Egyptian king, Mo Salah. Again, an incredible card this year too, very similar to his card last year. Of course it has the 3-star weak foot issue, but if you can get over that, guys, it's gonna be an incredible card this year too, I'm sure, like it was last year. The highest rated right winger in the Prem, and most likely he's gonna get some informs too. So yeah, guys, definitely gonna be hella expensive at the beginning of the game, but yeah, guys, he's gonna be pretty meta. Bernardo Silva, guys, good dribble, so he is gonna feel faster than 81 pace, but still I don't think he's gonna be too meta, because if you look at it, he's got the 87 rating, so he's gonna be pretty expensive at the beginning, and then afterwards people have all those like pacey informs or some special cards, so I don't see him being too meta. Riyad Mahrez, guys, I loved his card last year, so nice to see. He's got a pretty similar card to last year, but great agility and stuff. He's gonna fit that meta, the dribbling and things like that. He's also got the 4-star 5-star combo, so I think he's gonna be pretty meta. Lucas Moura moved to right mid this year instead of center forward last year, which was so OP. I love that card. But yeah, guys, he's probably gonna be like the meta guy this year on the right, I think so, just because the pace, and of course being Brazilian is also something people look for. But other than that, yeah, he's got a good shot. Maybe the passing's a bit on the lower side, but good dribble and pace guy. He's gonna feel really quick, so I think he's gonna definitely be the meta right winger in the Prem. Willian, of course, moved to Arsenal. He's actually got a decent breakdown. He's got like higher acceleration, lower sprint speed, so I do think he'd be decently usable this year, more like for the like maybe first month or so of the game. He's definitely more like well-rounded than Lucas Moura, and if you need like a set piece specialist, he can do it, but not someone who you're gonna see a lot of like in like 2-3 months time. Nicolas Pepe downgraded to 80. I believe he was an 83 maybe last year. But yeah, decent card. I do think he's gonna have a weak foot issue. But yeah, guys, good pace. You know, decent shot. I think he will have the finesse shot trade. So, you know, if you guys like that, you know, to cut in and do the finesse and stuff. So, you know, could be decent. He's probably going to be popular at the beginning, but again, you know, not too much longevity. Other than that, guys, for the cheaper options, of course, Adama Traore. He's not very well rounded, but you know, he's just one of those meme guys. He's just like so quick and strong and stuff, especially for the super subs, guys. Get ready for this. But yeah, other than that, not too many options. Daniel James also, I would say, for those starter squads you could use. You know, maybe the Liverpool fanboys will use Minamino. But yeah, guys, I'd say James and Minamino and Adama probably for those starter squads. If you've got decent money, I think Mora's probably gonna be more expensive for those sort of I guess mid-tier cards. So you know, maybe you pick up a Willian if you're okay with the weak if you don't want the weak foot issue with Pepe. And then of course the top tier is Mo Salah. So not too many options, I'd say, as compared to the left wingers, but you know, still some decent options. Then we move on to the strikers, guys, and it's about to get interesting. So we got Sergio Aguero at the top, and yeah, guys, just I don't think he's gonna cut it this year. Just not enough pace and stuff. So probably at the beginning of the game you could use it. I remember even last season, last year, I was using you know, guys with the high shooting attributes early in the game, and it's quite effective because not everyone has those pacey defenders. But I think about maybe 3 weeks into the game, once everyone gets those pacey defenders, he's not gonna be that usable. You know, same thing goes with Kane. Firmino's got an 87 rated, but you know, 90 dribble and you know, 81 pass is not what's gonna cut it. I think for an 87 rated, you know, and a guy who's gonna be meta, he needs the pace and the, you know, a good shot, things like that. So I don't think he's gonna be super meta. Aubameyang, guys, this is the guy. You know, I have my eyes on him. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna try my best to get him as soon as I can, guys. He's gonna be hella meta. Of course, you know, the pace shot, he's been meta for quite a while now. But I think another thing with him is because he's 6'2", if heading's gonna be a factor this year, he could seriously be that guy that everyone wants. So you know, looking like a really nice card. Jamie Vardy too, looking like a good card. He has a 3-star, but I think like definitely for about a month and a half you could see him in teams, you know, having the good finishing, good pace, things like that. He's gonna be a pretty effective player. Timo Werner, guys, this guy's gonna be hella meta. You know, good pace, good shot. Of course, I discussed earlier that the triple link with Havertz and also the other good German players you could put around him. So I think he's gonna be very popular. You know, try to get your hands on him as soon as you can. Anthony Martial, guys, he's got a nice card this year. I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen with his weak foot. If he gets a 4-star this year, guys, this could be a serious card. You know, he's also, again, he's 6 feet tall, so you know, you could you know, get that heading in with him. But you know, good dribble, good pace, good shot. He's probably gonna have the finesse shot trade. So yeah, guys, he's definitely looking pretty meta. Other than that, guys, Jimenez and Lacazette, I would say maybe for those, you know, starter-ish squads. Maybe not like starter-ish, because I think they'd be a bit pricey because they're like 84, 83 rated. But sort of in that beginning phase of the game, you could use them because they have a good shot. Lacazette took a big hit with his pace, so not going to be too usable this year. Gabby Jesus, guys, you know, who's got a decent card this year. Also with him, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with the weak foot. If he gets the 4-star back, you know, he's going to be very usable again. Then we look at for the starter squads, guys. Richarlison actually has a decent card, guys. You know, he's also so last year he had a 5-star weak for 4-star skill. If he keeps that, then I think he'll be a very usable card. His shot's actually pretty nice. It says 78 overall, but it's because he has low long shots and volleys and stuff. His finishing and stuff is decent, you know, decent pace and stuff. He's also got a bit of physicality, so again, you know, maybe you could pair him up with like a fast striker. So yeah, guys, I think for that starter-ish squad, you could definitely use him. his partner in crime, Calvert-Lewin, guys. If the heading meta's for real, this guy could be the guy. So, waiting to see what happens with that. Mikel Antonio, again, he's got the pace, but other than that, not offering too much. And yeah, guys, other than that, no one really. I know there's this guy Javier Suarez, but other than his pace and shooting, it doesn't seem like he's got too much. So maybe that starter squad, but not for too long. And then yeah, guys, saving the best for last, the left wingers, guys. And left wingers in the Prem this year are pretty stacked, guys. Lots of options. So of course at the top we start Sadio Mane, guys, 90 rated, and it's a ridiculous card, guys. It's looking end game already. I mean, 94 pace, 90 dribble, 76 physicality, 85 shot, guys. He's gonna be hella meta, very expensive like he was last year. So yeah, guys, he's gonna definitely be the meta, and he just fits that. He's got it all. He probably has good heading too. Let me just check that for you guys, because maybe if he gets like a position change in form, or if you want to sort of play him central. So yeah, 84 heading. So yeah, guys, he's gonna be 90 finish, guys. Oh, can't wait to use this guy. Raheem Sterling, again, good. He fits that meta. The agility and pace. He's just a fun player to use. Although again, the weak foot issue is there. So if you guys are cool with it, cool. He's not gonna be super meta, but there's definitely guys who like this sort of player. I like this kind of players. They're fun to use, fun on the, they feel nice on the ball. And then yeah, guys, Heung-min Son. I mean, I was kind of hoping he'd still be central this year, but left mid this year, stupidly stacked card. He keeps the 5-star, weak foot, and yeah, guys, good pace, incredible shot, dribble, everything. So he's gonna be hella meta too. Marcus Rashford, guys, this is the guy, for that sort of starter, a month into the game sort of squads. Good pace, good shot. He's got the 4-star, weak foot this year. He's gonna be really meta. As far as sort of that starter-ish squads, you look at a guy like Zaha, very nice card. I liked his card a lot last year too. He was a center forward, I believe. But yeah, guys, he just feels good. He's got the good dribbles, 5-star skills, good pace, decent shot. So definitely, gonna be pretty meta at the beginning. Bergwijn too, nice, well-rounded card, a good shot, pass, dribble, things like that. Also plays for Spurs, so a bunch of decent Spurs players this year. Felipe Anderson also is very meta last year at the beginning of the game, and I think probably is going to be the same this year. 81 rating overall, so probably going to be cheaper too. So yeah, he's going to be pretty meta. After this, guys, it does drop a bit. Now we're sort of looking at the real like starter level squad. So we got a guy like Christian Pulisic. Again, good pace and dribble, but doesn't have the shot or the passing. Diogo Jota moved to Liverpool, and he's actually, he actually has a decent card, because he's got a good breakdown of high acceleration, lower sprint speed. He's got the 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills, decent shot, decent dribble. He actually has good decent physicality also. So I think he could be definitely, maybe you could use him even a month into the game. So definitely, somewhat not meta, but a very usable player for sure. Saint Maxim, guys, very popular last year. I hated this guy. Everyone used him as a super sub. But yeah, guys, the 5-star skills. He got an upgrade this year. Still likes the shooting and passing, but if you just need the winger to be like pacey and have the dribbles, things like that, he's your guy. And then yeah, guys, for the sort of cheaper against starter squad levels, you've got the likes of Saka, Leandro Trossard. He's got a decent shot. Maybe you could use Redmond, but not really. He doesn't have like the great dribble and stuff, but Prudence is also one of those guys, good pace, good dribble, likes the shooting and passing. So again, for those starter squads, very usable. So now, guys, I actually have a squad for you guys, which is, this is not exactly like a starter squad, but something you could possibly aim for maybe a week or 2 weeks into the game, possibly getting this team before the first weekend league. I believe probably the first weekend the game comes out, there's not gonna be weekend league. So if you guys can grind out the squad battles, rivals, all of that stuff, possibly you could accumulate this team. So we start off with Fabianski. As I mentioned earlier, he's one of those decently well-rounded keepers. He's probably gonna be pretty cheap. Then we move on to fullbacks. Bellerin is the cheaper option in the Prem. Davinson, Rudiger, decent defending, decent physicality, decent pace. Also Tierney, has got the good pace. Also I believe he's got like pretty decent stamina and stuff also, or like some physical attribute. Actually, let me just look at it. I looked at it earlier. I can't remember exactly. Sorry guys, just bothering me. But yeah, 85 stamina, 80 jumping and stuff. So it's looking like a good meta for the beginning. Fred, has got a well-rounded card. Terea, possibly if he leaves, you could go in for a guy like Sissoko, as I have. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, so I put Sissoko here, and of course I put Allen in there in case you got a bit more money to spend. And then when we move on to the attack, guys, I think from the right wingers in the Prem, more of sort of feels that FIFA meta type, the real pace, good dribble, decent shot. So I'd say definitely try to get your hands on him. Werner up top, guys. This guy seems too meta. Of course, I think probably Aubameyang might be better in the game. Of course, having the 4-star skills, being a bit taller, but of course I think Aubameyang is gonna be hella expensive. This guy, he's 85 rated. I think possibly we could see being 100, sub 100 towards the beginning of the game. So I'd say this is one of those guys you want to work for. Look, if you have guys like these in your team at the beginning, those weekend leagues are pretty fun, because you can have a good team and everyone else has trash teams. So this is definitely a guy I would try to work towards the beginning of the game. And then to pair up with him, Tony Martial, 84 rated. So I don't think he's gonna be like too crazy expensive. I think possibly maybe around, I think maybe 60-70k. I remember Lucas Moura last year, what a pretty meta card. He was around at his prime, like weekend league, when the weekend league was going on, he was like 60, but he'd go down to like around 50. So I'd say for Martial maybe 70. And then you have Zaha, who I don't think he's gonna be too crazy expensive, but fits that mold. He's got the pace, the good dribble, the skills, things like that. And then I just had some guys who in the case if you have more money or less money, you could switch things up. Of course, as you can see, I've thought about spending more on the attack, which attacking players are what makes the game fun. So the back line and stuff, you sort of want makeshift guys, and as you get money, you slowly upgrade. But guys like Leno, for example, in goal. By the sorry guys, there's someone vacuuming outside my room. But guys, Leno is that sort of that mid-tier goalie. So if you have a bit more money to spend, I'd say go for him. Gabby Jesus, if Tony Martial's like too expensive, maybe he could be that guy too. I'm not gonna play him as a cam, by the way. I'd probably play them as like in a 4-2-2 as my second striker. And then guys, even like Alan, depending on how much he's at the beginning, and if you guys got some extra money to spend. Mahrez for me, I would say if Lucas Moura is too expensive, then I'd go for him. And then Sissoko, if Terea is in there, he's gonna be that physical presence, good pace, all of that good stuff. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna upload videos I might upload another one today and then tomorrow in the coming days of the different leagues. So guys, please like and subscribe. It'll really help me out. And guys, have a good one.